I'm here to rant. Yes, I'm angry. I know most of you have not seen my angry face before. So this is it. I am not okay. I'm not happy. That's why I am here. How can someone come from their continent to our very own continent and racially discriminate? Well, maybe there is more to the story. No matter what, we are Nigerians. In Africa, we should not tolerate any form of racism. And we should not condone it for any reason whatsoever. If you feel that you don't want Africans to buy things from you, close your shop and go back to your country. I don't see how an Indian will leave India, come to Nigeria, set up a school, and you will tell me it is only for Indians. No, sweethearts. If you want an only Indian school, close your school and take it back to India. You want a supermarket only for China or for Chinese people, close it, pack up, go back to China and set it up there. For as long as you are in this country, we will not take any trash from any foreigner. I want you to know that I know peace. Welcome back to my channel. This is Qinspride. Okay, over the last 1 week, a lot of stories have been flying the internet. Okay, let me just say, for the past 5 days, okay, so the story is all about the Chinese supermarket that denied access to Nigerians or blacks, okay, in Nigeria. They restricted them access to the supermarket. And so a lot of things happened online, a lot of agitations. The FCCPC went and sealed the supermarket. When I heard about it, at first I was of the opinion that, maybe it is because of the FCCPC sanitization. For the past 1 week, they've been going around the markets, the supermarkets, and other places to sensitize people in Nigeria about the increase or hike in prices. Okay? So what happened is, if they come to your shop, they would want you to know that it is not proper for you to hike your price. So all they are doing is just to regularize or regulate the prices by sensitizing people. However, during their course of sensitization, they also realized that some markets or supermarkets are selling products that are not good for consumption. I don't know whether you understand what I'm talking about. So, okay. So that's what has been happening for the past 1 week. So when the information about the Abuja incident happened, I was of the opinion that maybe because of that, they decided not to allow people into their supermarkets. But before that, I want to take you back to 4 years ago. Something happened in Nigeria 4 years ago. A Chinese restaurant was closed down. Just listen to it.
In the entire building that you see here, there are multiple stores on multiple floors. And those stores are for all kinds of different things, all kinds of food items that are expired. And what seems to be behind us, which is a makeshift, which is an additional construction that is completely concealed, is a supermarket. And in that supermarket, you've got all kinds of ethnic products also that are expired and which are usually sold in wholesale as admitted by the operatives to Chinese restaurants who ultimately cook and serve these foods to unsuspecting consumers. There are also other things in the freezer, seafood and meat items, some of which were imported into Nigeria, which we have absolutely no way of knowing the value chain or whether the food safety process was sufficiently complied with. And so again, what we're going to be doing is we're going to close this place down like we did before. One of the things that's helping is that just discovering where the supplies comes from allows us to be able to find all the other retailers and possibly even the restaurants that are being supplied by this product so that we can stop them from providing these substandard products or sometimes potentially dangerous products to consumers.
You can't come into someone's country and you buy products that are dangerous, because once they've expired, they are no longer good for consumption. Now, I always tell people that if you go to the market and maybe you decided to purchase a green, like a vegetable, they are fresh. If you leave it in your house for 2-3 days, they will get spoiled. So things that are not canned will easily get spoiled because there is nothing like preservative there. If you decide to buy rice, if you leave rice for a very long time, it may spoil. You will see weevil, just like beans. Even if they use some preservatives on the beans, you also realize that for a long time, a lot of weevil will enter inside the beans and the beans will spoil. However, when you package things and seal them in containers, there comes the problem. For them to stand with the heat and everything, it means that we have a lot of heavy preservative inside the can or the nylon. And so, even when they get expired, you may not know. And that is why it is very important to check the expiry date of every product that you want to buy that is sealed or in container. And so, you see, this happened a few years ago, as well as some years ago, like 2 years ago, a Chinese restaurant was sealed in Nigeria for racial discrimination. And ever since then, we've not really heard anything like that again. What these officials do is to ensure that they sanitize the environment and remove every harmful substances from your shop. And they've been doing that since last week. A lot of shops were sealed, including some shops belonging to foreigners, like the Europeans and the rest of them. So, back to the present. Not until Monday this week. So when the information started circulating online, I started reasoning it in another way. Now, I would want you to dissect this with me. Okay, let us be neutral here.
Not a day goes by when China and its behavior don't make the news. This time, Chinese actions have sparked outrage almost 10,000 kilometers away. Residents in Nigeria's capital Abuja are enraged with the way they've been treated. A Chinese supermarket in Nigeria is at the center of controversy. The shop is located in a building run by the Chinese Chamber of Commerce in the Nigerian capital. The Chinese supermarket has been accused of racism by denying entry to African shoppers. After videos of the supermarket's blatant racism against local Nigerians went viral, the West African nation's consumer protection watchdog closed down the Chinese store. Officials of Nigeria's Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission locked down the Chinese supermarket until further notice. They also summoned the store's owner for investigation. So how did this instance of Chinese racism against Nigerians in their own country surface? It all started earlier this week. A group of Nigerians went to the Chinese Chamber of Commerce to shop from its supermarket. They were all stopped at the entrance by guards who said that people of only Chinese descent were allowed inside. And then the outcry began. Nigerian authorities have refused to reopen the Chinese supermarket. However, the racist attitude by Chinese towards Nigerians and Africans is nothing new. Reports highlight that Chinese social media is full of anti-African content. And despite calls for controlling racism on Chinese social media, Beijing has done almost nothing about it.
Now, let us be rational in our explanation. Okay? So, when this happened with the information at hand, I do have theories. One, I felt that before now, before 2024, people do enter the supermarket to shop, including Nigerians, non-Nigerians, Africans, and the Asians, and the Europeans, as well as the Americans. Anybody can enter the shop and buy things. So what happened? Why 2024? This will bring me to another point. We all know that after the Naira was floated by the government, Naira crashed. So a lot of things increased. Now for salary earners, a lot of expatriates in Nigeria are being paid in dollars or in their own currency, not in naira. Nigerians earn in naira. So when naira was floated, meaning that naira crashed, it affected Nigerians. I'm going to give an example. Let's say your salary is 10,000 naira and you are able to buy a biro for 500 naira, or you're able to buy something for 500 naira. That means that you will still have 9,500 naira balance, right? So you are able to do a lot of things with the 10,000 naira being paid to you. I'm just giving an example. However, because naira crashed, it affected the currency. It affected a lot of things because of the exchange rates. So something that you used to buy for 500 naira became 3,000 naira. What that simply means is that something that you bought with 500 naira, you bought that with 3,000 naira. Meaning that 7,000 naira is the only thing remaining of your salary. And you're going to buy other things. So you see a lot of agitation and complaints. People agitated, people complained. However, for the expatriates, I mean the foreigners in Nigeria, because they are being paid in their own currency or in hard currency, they were not affected. In fact, they will gain when they convert their currency to naira. So what that simply means is this. Maybe someone is being paid $5,000 every month. And let's say naira was at 300 naira per dollar. It means that if they convert their dollar to naira, it will be 1.5 million. However, if naira should crash to 1,500 naira, you see, that same $5,000 became 7.5 million. So what it simply means is that they are also gaining more in naira. Yes, there is a law in Nigeria that says that they will be paid in dollars. However, they can only withdraw in naira if they want to do any transaction in Nigeria. So it does not affect the expatriates. Did you see? So because it does not affect them, they do not agitate if they go to buy things from any supermarket. And so I feel that maybe they feel that Nigerians or blacks who come to the supermarket to buy things haggle prices because of the increase in price. Imagine something that you used to buy for 1,000 naira before, and you went to a supermarket and they're telling you it is 6,000 naira. Of course, it is normal for you to scream and try to drag the price a little, to beat it, like to haggle the price a little. It is normal. However, for an expatriate, they do not need to haggle because they are okay with it. After all, they are paid in hard currency. And so, if they still exchange it to naira, they will still be at advantage. And so, I feel that maybe there has been haggling of prices. You know, like when you walk into the supermarket and people are always trying to drag the prices with you. Unlike before, you may not be comfortable. But for the expatriates, once they enter the supermarket, they will just pick what they want and they will just pay and they will go. So to them, it may be okay for only expatriates or Chinese or foreigners who are being paid in hard currency to enter the supermarket and buy, than for a Nigerian or a local to enter the supermarket, see the prices, and scream or try to drag the price with them. Also, they may be afraid of being reported for selling things so expensive. This is strictly my own point of view. I'm just saying my mind. That is my own opinion. That's what I thought. Okay? So, it is easier for them to sell at an exorbitant price to their own people who will easily buy than to a Nigerian who may make video complaining that the amount is too much. Let's say maybe outside there they may be buying it for 4,000, from 1,000 to 4,000, and then you enter the supermarket, they are telling you 6,000. Okay, so for them, we could call them bad market. Because of our greed. It is happening even to we Africans. We like to increase or hike prices at any slightest inflation. So that's what I thought triggered them to tell people who are the indigenous or locals not to enter the supermarket to shop. Since it began this year, of course, we know that the prices of things became high. The price of goods escalated this year. So it may be in line with why they did what they did. That is number one. Another theory of mine is this. Why was it that since the opening of the supermarkets, they've allowed both Nigerians and non-Nigerians to buy from the supermarkets? Why this year? Any change in the management? It may likely be so because there has been a lot of stories about China and racial discrimination. So maybe, just maybe, there is a change in the management. So someone that stays in China or live in a country that discriminates against Africans, where discrimination is secretly normal, and the person coming to Nigeria to take over a supermarket or to manage a supermarket may find it surprising that Africans are entering the shops of the Chinese to buy things, and may feel irritated and decide to enact a law that says no African should enter the Chinese supermarket. So I feel there may be a change in their management system, and the person who took over the chair is a racist or someone from a racial environment who found it surprising that Africans are buying in the same supermarket as the Chinese. These are the two things that came into my mind. And if you see how it happened, who told them that FCCPC wants to invade? How did they know? Because the last time I checked, there was no official publication that on Monday, FCCPC will go to so-so and so-so supermarket. No. So, an insider, not an insider from the supermarket, an insider on the government side must have tipped them off. Yes. Because how else would they know? Their movement showed that they knew about the visitation because that morning it was open. The supermarket was open. And all of a sudden, they closed and they left. Which means they knew that what they did was against the law.
The FCCPC was led to the security room to preview the CCTV footage. It was discovered that the owner of the store had fled this morning at about 8:29 a.m., which implies that she had prior knowledge of the visit. The owner has now been summoned to provide more answers.
Externally, enquiries have shown that yes, as at this morning, this supermarket was open to discriminate against any person who has any desire, intention to patronize any shop. It's a public shop. It's a public access with facility and also business.
The owner of the store has until Wednesday, 11 a.m. to report to the commission, or the supermarket will remain closed.
So that raises more suspicion. And you know, if going by the law now, if you look at the Consumer Protection Council's Act, Section 2, subsection I, it says that this agency has the powers to look at any obnoxious or discriminatory act against consumers. And they can actually take up the person, like the owners of the business, like they have done, they've rightly done.
Of course. Now here is my point. You do not have any rights to come to someone's country and dictate to them how you want to run things. There should not be any room for any form of racism for any reason whatsoever. You can be a racist in your country, but don't bring it to Africa. Don't bring it to Nigeria. We will not tolerate it for any reason. So I was also saying that maybe they did not seal their shop or prevent Africans from entering because of the skin color. It may actually be because of the currency, hiking of the prices, and escalating of price out of greed, just to make more money. However, once you open your supermarket or your shop, it is open to everyone, and everyone is entitled to even do window shopping, for as long as they did not steal from your shop, for as long as they are permitted to enter the residence or to enter the estates, they can as well buy things from your shop. If you feel that you don't want Africans to buy things from you, close your shop and go back to your country. I don't see how an Indian will leave India, come to Nigeria, set up a school, and you will tell me it is only for Indians. No, sweethearts. If you want an only Indian school, close your school and take it back to India. You want a supermarket only for China or for Chinese people, close it, pack up, go back to China and set it up there. For as long as you are in this country, we will not take any trash from any foreigner. I want you to know that and know peace.